Glad to have you back on Rapidon. Of course, well, Emmanuel and Eva, they've been in the studio giving you all of the sporting, activities. I feel like I need to hold Emmanuel and Eva on the shirt. They didn't show us the highlight for, the goal scored by the Gunners over the weekend.
Can you
these
rest?
guys, no, I cannot rest too.
Can you just rest?
Do you know what it means to win 5-0? And Emmanuel and Eva didn't show those goals. Victor Gyökeres, 2 goals, for his first goals for Arsenal.
Make sure these are not the only goals you score.
No. Come on, we'll keep scoring. We'll begin really good when the season starts,
It's
right?
always,
That's how we do. We start good,
and
this
then you
this
fail
is
and never take any cup.
no. This season is going to be different, right?
Fingers are crossed. I warned you.
Well,
don't brag, go.
No, I will try not to brag.
Okay.
But Emmanuel, and I see the odds anyways. But of course, good to have you back on the show this morning. And right now it's time for the 9 o'clock hours where the big conversation is about to happen. All right, of course, my name is Victor Ake.
My name is Martha Alu. And yes, we've been having interesting conversations from the start of the day. For today's conversation, that's what we're having at 9 o'clock right now. It's something that a lot of people have called the government to talk about or has called on the president to intervene in. Even though our guest in the studio thinks that, he said he's proudly a part of the party.
Right.
And we'll see how that pans out for him. Maybe after today, he just might not be so proud to be part of the party. But anyways, welcome to Rapid Dawn right here on Rapid TV. And at the 9 o'clock hour, we have conversations about the social welfare of Nigerians, political economy, about politics generally, lifestyle, entertainment, and anything we find ourselves talking about here on Rapid Dawn. And for today's conversation, we have PDP chieftain, Mazi Nnamdi Dixon. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you
So
very
good
much.
to have
It's a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you for being here with us, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning to you once
Good
again.
morning, and good morning to Nigerians. Yes, I am proudly PDP.
Probably PDP, he said,
Okay.
But let's begin the conversation, right? Let's just dive deep into the sea, right? The PDP has been Nigeria's biggest opposition party, for a long time now. And after losing presidency in 2015, the party has struggled with internal disunity, right? In February, we saw reports of at least 9 different factions emerging across various state chapters. We've seen high-profile defections happening in the PDP. One of the most prominent happens to be the former flag bearer of the PDP, who has contested about 6 times, within the party, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. He has left the party. Lots of big names have also left the party. What does this say about the PDP's strength right now and structure as well?
Okay, what does this say? Straight up, it says it's not about individuals, it's about the people.
Okay.
PDP was set up by its name with a mission and a vision. By its motto, it's well spelled out that PDP is about the people. So it's not about individuals. It's good, yeah. The names that the party made, because Atiku was not vice president before he became PDP member. PDP made him vice president twice. PDP made him presidential candidate twice. So, in fact, everything about Atiku Abubakar is PDP. So he cannot carry himself, or he cannot be presented as bigger than the party. It's not possible. No one individual is. I am not. We're all converged together to discuss how to build a great nation, which Nigeria ought to be. That's what PDP was set up for, not to be in the opposition. We're not set up to be like the APC. I said on some other platform that those who are expecting PDP to be all engaging of this government or the APC the way they did to the PDP in 2014, 2015, don't understand why PDP was set up. PDP wasn't set up to play rancorous kind of politics or pull the nation down, pull the roof over your head because your interest is not captured. No, PDP is about the people. So if at the time we have given you the ticket of the party twice, made you vice president twice. In fact, you were governor-elect on the PDP platform before you became vice president. That is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar now.
Yeah.
Now, you want to form a coalition against an opposition that they were in the opposition when we were in government, against a reunion government, a reunion party, that has afflicted Nigerians, the people you are set up to, fight for. What you do is bring the coalition to your party. This party that gave you this opportunity to become great, because we build, we don't destroy. when PDP was in power, my brother, my sister, we were old enough to know that from 1999 up to 2015 when we left power, from 2015 to 2025, now that APC is in charge, you can clearly consider the difference. Food was not our issue. It's a shame. As a father, for instance, I will be a failed father if I can't bring food home to my children. So as a president, as father of the nation, you're leading a nation and people are, groaning in pains over food. That should be quite shameful. It was so bad that a nation at war, Ukraine, sent us grains from why they're at war. Because hunger was killing and still killing Nigerians. Yet there's no policy in place. For instance, how did we get here? You can't say you don't know. If you put it on Buhari, Buhari and you are the same. You guys formed APC and took mandate, that you got, whichever way you got it, through the rancorous approach to politics as I described them. Because I said on the other platform, I said, APC plays a disruptive and destructive politics. We don't play that kind of politics.
How do you mean?
No, because they were pulling the nation down at the time they were in the opposition. They desecrated the seat of president. They called the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria clueless and got away with it. They said all sorts about, because we were set up to allow freedom of expression according to the Constitution of Nigeria. Now you can't do that. Now Nigerians were protesting over hunger. You gunned them down. You went against them with state institutions funded by taxpayers' money.
Okay.
And all of that. So the difference is clear. Now, the issues in my party, you see, being the biggest political family in Nigeria, it's expected that people would have divergent opinion. There are members of PDP who are still APC members.
How do you mean?
Of course there are so many of them who are not genuinely excited about what is happening in the country, but because they are the dining table, they are observing silence.
So
observing table manners and all of that.
So you have your party members being members of two various parties.
No, my interest is Nigeria first. And there are so many Nigerians like me like that who are in my party and the APC.
Is that not an anti-party?
No. If Nigeria comes first, I will do anti-party in the name of Nigeria any day. Okay. I will put Nigeria first at all the time, at any time. For instance, in 2023, we told our party that we ought to go south. It was wrong for anybody to imagine that after a northerner governed for 8 years, and in fact the experience was horrible. The main party that Nigerians were now looking forward to, coming back to rescue the country, did not understand the pulse of the nation.
Did you see that?
Went against that and gave the ticket to the North. That's why the party failed. And that's what is still haunting the party. Of course. But here we are now going to 2027 and we're going to correct that.
Talking about haunting the party, because you've gone to 2023, right?
Yes.
There you had one of the biggest crises in the PDP, where you had the members of the party fighting against the presidential candidate of the party.
Because even the party went against his rule.
Because the party or the individual
the party is the constitution. The constitution of the party recognizes zoning. So the fact that we didn't uphold it, people felt, well, what is the loyalty for? I'm from the southeast. We are the most loyal zone to the party after 2015 loss. And then it was our turn, because it's enshrined in the constitution that we should do rotational presidency around the 6 geopolitical zones. But it is zoned between north and south. When you go to north, you now consider, is it going to northwest or northeast or north central? When you come to south, you now consider, that is micro zoning now, you now consider whether it's going to go southeast, southwest, or south-south. That's how, because it is about the people. So once you missed upholding that rule, which gave us legitimacy to be called a political party, people now felt justified, going against the candidate of the party because that was not the people.
All right. Let me say something. The PDP, when it was in power, had a clear agenda of staying in government for 60 years. That was the agenda that the PDP
governing Nigeria for 60 years.
For 60 years.
We have a vision that for 60 years, if steadily we put the right things in place, that this nation will be turned around and the world will see
All right,
that
okay.
this is a great nation.
Okay,
Because
so
that's the vision of the PDP.
It's looking like the PDP
But these people
has...
bungled it for us.
Hold on. It's looking like the PDP has lost this ideology.
No, it
Because,
haven't.
yes, what it's looking like right now is getting seats or getting power at all costs, regardless of that mandate that you said you had, that governing Nigeria rightly for 60 years. That's one. Secondly, you speak as though PDP has not contributed in any way to the collapse of the system or the governmental system here in Nigeria. You don't think they have?
No. You see, governance is a continuum. Whether APC stays in power forever, for instance, and God forbid it, because they are now trying to push for one-party state. But we, the committed, patriotic Nigerians, will not see to that, because that will not allow the nation grow.
Don't your party members keep decamping to the APC?
Hold on.
But are they really
Let me
pushing for
address
a
what
one-party
you-
Yes,
state?
your
let me
party
address-
members keep decamping to the APC.
It's a freedom of association as enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria. But I find it appalling and disgusting that you would belong to a political party and you would say, oh, that even though I'm in this party, I'm going to support the candidate of a party that obviously has not done well. I wish the APC had done well, and my people who are living for whatever they are living for, now said they are going there. One can justify it. But these people have afflicted us with the most commonest thing that every human being should have after water and air is food. Nigerians can't feed. And it should bother anybody who, is saying, I want to decamp from PDP to APC. When the people that moved from PDP and formed the coalition and said they adopted ADC, for instance, someone like me, I said, the fact that this is about the ambition of one man, it will crumble before it takes off. Atiku wouldn't have left PDP if it wasn't clear that the party was ready to correct the mistake we made in 2022 that preceded 2023 election. We ought to have gone south. And now the party wants to come back to power. Not because we want to grab power as the policy or ideology of the APC when they were in the opposition, but because we have tested governance and leading Nigeria aright before. You talked about, didn't we contribute to the rot in the system?
Yeah.
But check the institutions set up by PDP to checkmate excesses of individuals in government. EFCC was set up by PDP. ICPC was set up by PDP.
Do they honor
hold
it?
on. Hold
Do
on.
they
I'm coming.
honor it?
It doesn't matter. What has APC set up? Comparing to governance, the only thing they have set up is subsidy is gone, which afflicted pains, hunger in the land. And when we complain, the president says, no, we should hold on a bit, that we should tighten up, the thing will still take off first. Excuse me, okay, 2 years is gone. And you're already campaigning for the next 4 years. You want to kill Nigerians? No, we will not. And that's why we are now coming back to rebuild our party. Today, in the media before now, nobody believed that PDP was going to get here. You people declared PDP dead. And we said, okay, we understand the pains and the desire, the nostalgia feeling of Nigerians. Because Nigerians can compare PDP and APC government, and they will decide which one is. Freedom of expression was allowed, which is as enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria. Food was not an issue. Insecurity was, curtailed to or isolated to the aspect of terrorism and in a particular state. But now, under the watch of APC, the level of insecurity is such that kidnapping is a business that is thriving in Nigeria under the watch of APC. That's how terrible the insecurity of the land is. So for us, we are getting back on track. Today we're going to have NEC. Of course, I was at caucus meeting yesterday night, and it went well. Our governors, our leaders are coming back to reconsider the ways that we used to be.
All right,
because
Mazi.
if we have issues, family can get together, especially a big family like PDP, discuss their issues and address them.
Let's talk about your constitution, right?
Yes.
Because you mentioned that in 2023 you went against your constitution, and that is the reason there was a fallout in your party.
Yeah.
Various members of the party stood against the party, fought against the party, and of course supported different candidates, from other party. if you could not uphold your own constitution as a party, what is the guarantee that if eventually that PDP takes over power or the presidency in 2027, that you can uphold the constitution of the entire nation?
Oh, the reason why that event even happened in the first place is because we respect the constitution of Nigeria above the constitution of APC, above the constitution of PDP. The point is that, yes, we have zoning. And when we were making our argument, the other person went outside our constitution and went to the constitution of Nigeria to protect himself and said, I have a right to aspire as provided for in the constitution of Nigeria. Nobody should deny me my right. We respected that. The leadership didn't see politics, above that very particular argument of the individual. Collective interests, because democracy is such that minority should have their say and majority should have their way. So when this individual said the blah, 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 what we should have considered is our collective interest. What are the Nigerian people saying? Because PDP is made up of Nigerians, not some aliens from anywhere, right? So the angle I hold on strongly to, that PDP can bring change, while we're, if I recall what you asked me, while we're at it to drive the new direction for the nation is.
What would you change currently right now? We have NERFO, and that is the students' loan coming on board.
That's
the removal of the fuel subsidy.
That's feeding bottle.
How do you mean feeding bottle? Look at the number of out-of-school children
that have gone back to school.
That have gone back to school.
Excuse me, what is the number of out-of-school children?
Talk about removal of fuel subsidy.
Hold on, sir. Please. You see, when we single out those feeding bottle aspects of running government, we get too carried away. I respect that is good. Students should be empowered, but look at the ASU is threatening to go on strike.
ASU has always been on strike, even when PDP was in power.
We're not in power for 10 years, please. Anybody making excuses of PDP when they were in government, okay, you've held sway for 10 years. Stop giving PDP reference. The point is that you're in charge now.
Mr.
And under your watch, for instance, instead of fixing the Nigerian roads, you're creating some white elephant project called the Coastal Highway, and approved about 15 trillion naira without legislative appropriation.
Hold on, Mr. Mazi. Let's
misplaced priority.
Hold on, Mr. Mazi.
The roads are bad. Fix the ones that are there. No, you have not fixed them. You're creating one that we will not even see you finish, even if we give you 30 years.
Mr. Mazi, hold on. While I understand that you think that some of these policies and ideologies are feeding bottle projects,
but that's what they are.
That the government is, let's just take a look at the subsidy. Today, we had a statistics on the paper that said that the remittance from the fuel subsidy is over $8 trillion dollars or naira now. That's what the statistics say. They've gotten a lot of money from that removal of fuel subsidy. Even though PDP, throughout when they were in office, we saw a mass failure in the ability to remove fuel subsidy. Let's look at President Goodluck Jonathan, right? He tried it, he brought out initiatives. In fact, people commended him for having palliative measures, but still the fuel subsidy was not removed. And there's a government who has succeeded in removing the fuel subsidy. But PDP somehow still thinks that that's a feeding bottle project.
No, you see.
That's one. Hold on.
This is
Secondly,
this is very key, because
hold on.
this is why we are where we are.
Okay.
This thing you just raised now, because it's mismanagement of that economy.
Let's hear it.
You see, Jonathan, if you recall, in 2012, proposed removal of subsidy and gave a 3-month plan to inform, to educate, to set up structure as Shopee, so that to cushion the effect of that eventual removal. Now, they went about the Minister for Finance and Coordinator of the Economy, who is now the DG of WTO, Dr. Konji Wala, with Nasir El-Rufai. They went about having town halls to educate Nigerians the benefit of removing subsidy and all of that. While at it, the opposition then, which is why I said they played disruptive and destructive politics. The opposition then, the man in power today, led a protest in Lagos, campaigned vehemently against it, called Jonathan all sorts of names, called him all unprintable things that cannot be called to any person who is president of the country. And the man listened to Nigerians. Like I said, rather than, for instance, I was on the street that day, the first day, because I wanted to understand what it was about. And I saw the police, that 2012, protecting us, guiding us. And what they were saying is, you people should do it well, or make sure that you don't cause any chaos. You know, it is all of us that are fighting for, you know, there was no intimidation and all of that, and molestation, or gone down as the case is today under the watch of the people who led that protest. Okay. But now this one came without any plan up till date, 2 years after. What is the effect of the money? If you are making money, and it's not telling on you, you can't put food on the table. Stop telling us you're making money. If you're making money and you're still borrowing, stop telling us you're making money. And stop telling us, oh, you're giving more money to the states now. What are they doing with it? Set up structure. It's about these people. And if it is not working, amend it. Nobody says that. And listen, subsidy payment, every government in everywhere in the world have one thing or the other they are subsidizing for the interest of the people.
Okay.
Now, this subsidy, the fuel subsidy thing, we know that transportation system, no matter how you look at it, it's more like the engine room of the economy that we're talking about. Once anything affects, anytime, for instance, there is fuel increment, and there is the hike in the fare, food, the inflation, and all of that, it would just happen immediately. Yeah. And that's the case we're having till today. So when this monies they are making is not reflecting in the economy, in the lives of the Nigerian people, then I don't see it as anything, especially when they're even going further to borrow more. When we left in 2015, PDP left an economy worth over 550 billion US dollars. That's the economy we left behind. The number one economy in Africa was what we handed over to APC in 2015. Today, the capital of poverty in the world is Nigeria. Northern Nigeria. Under the watch of APC. So forget the propaganda and all of the things they are telling you. Why I refer to the aspect of the student loan thing as feeding bottle economy is simply because of what they also did to us during the COVID. This same humanitarian thing that they say they were feeding our children who were not in school. People were locked down at home. And they gave us a budget in billions that they fed children at home. And we kept quiet and allowed APC to come back to power in 2023. The best we can do now, like Buhari said, God bless his soul, and I don't judge. Whatever mistakes he's made, he had an opportunity to lead Nigeria and make history. Even the last one, conduct a free and fair election. Even if you failed in everything, I thought Buhari would have given us a very fair election where what will happen? The will of the Nigerian people will be what will be upheld. But under his watch, he failed in everything and then still failed in organizing a credible election that will allow the will. Because once the will of the people is what plays out, you can hold your leaders accountable.
Are you saying
these leaders are not afraid of us?
Are you saying?
We didn't vote them.
Mazi, are you saying
they grabbed it and they ran with it?
Are you saying that the will of the people was not upheld?
But of course not.
This 2020 presidential election?
Of course not.
So Tinubu was not the right person to be president?
It is clear he was not. He was not elected in his own home state, Lagos. He was defeated there. So he was defeated in this place where he's occupying today, FCT. So what is the legitimacy he has over governing Nigeria? And then he gets the opportunity. He's still divisive. Look at the people running the country. It is not just about Southwest. It's actually the Lagos Parapor, the people he has held, held to jugular since he took over in Lagos in the year 2000 that he took over. Since then, he has been running Lagos. And that's the people he's running the country with right now. That is why the economy is in shambles.
Okay, let me ask you something. Now we're speaking as though there are no people in PDP that is active in this APC government.
Of course, we have them.
the like.
FCT minister is one of them.
Very good.
And he's the most performing. See, amongst the ministers,
the most performing.
He's the most performing.
Hold on. Don't you think
this is not party? I live in Abuja.
Okay.
I lived here for about 6 years before Minister Nyesom Wike came to become minister. Okay. So I know the difference. Just like I said, Nigerians can compare 15 years of PDP and 10 years of APC, and we should be able to do that. So knowing that difference, I must give it to Nyesom Wike. One, let me establish here, I'm not his fan. And I've said it everywhere, I'm not his fan. Because clearly, when we walked towards the 2020, I'm obedient.
Okay.
I campaigned for Peter Obi.
Whilst in the PDP?
No, I left PDP. In 2023, when the party failed in giving the ticket, like I was one of those who said it was wrong for a northerner to take over from a northerner. So I didn't care. Whether and then 2019, of course, it was.
But don't you see that
I worked for Atiku Abubakar. The same Atiku Abubakar, I worked for him in 2019 because I felt he was the best between this other Fulani man and this Fulani, or this northerner and this Buhari's first tenure. We felt let's bring in another northerner to complete it, and that's what we campaigned for. Just like when we did in 2017, we zoned our ticket to northern Nigeria. That was why 12 of them who aspired to get the ticket in 2019, they were all northerners. No southerner purchased form for that election, right? That's what we're asking for again, because you must give and take. That is why we're saying the likes of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And when you want to accuse me after doing all of this, that don't I see? What should I see?
Don't you think
I should see that I am progressive?
Don't you think that PDP is practicing a politics of convenience? No. And when I say politics of convenience, you have just said yourself that you were within a party structure, right? And the party collapsed in 2023 for failure of giving the ticket to someone who perceived that he was the right candidate for the ticket.
No, that's misrepresentation.
Hold on.
But let me correct. For failure of upholding the party's constitution.
Okay, the party's constitution.
It wasn't a personal thing.
Like you said, for failure of upholding the party's constitution, right? And this was an internal crisis that could have been settled. But people from the PDP left the PDP and went to other parties, which is the same thing
freedom
that Nigerians...
Freedom of association.
You keep saying that's
the freedom of
association.
association.
The Constitution of Nigeria
because
is the ground norm in the land.
This is the same thing Nigerians
You have a right to associate from
so that means
party
PDP
A to
has
party
no
B.
ideology.
No.
Because everyone exits the party at will
and then
comes back when it is convenient for them. Every party is supposed to have its ideology. There's an ideology that every party should run with. So regardless of the crisis that exists within the party, there should be a structure that calls for reassessment of the activities of the party and reconciliation in place in matters that are necessary.
Yes.
But if everyone continues to exit the party at will and at convenience, don't you think that
not everyone? How is it everyone? I'm
most
a member of
people-
PDP and proudly
But
say
you
I'm not
left
a
You left
you
and you're
came
back
back.
again to the party.
Listen,
Hold on, Atiku Abubakar has left the party because
he has left before.
He has left before and came back. He has
Now he has
left
left,
again. Peter Obi has left the party.
Yes.
And don't forget, there have been talks.
And we want him back.
Obviously, there
Yes.
have been talks on the news that, PDP wants Peter Obi back.
Yes.
To now
we
give
want him back.
the
I'm one of
ticket.
those in the forefront for it.
To now
want
give
that
him
is the
the
kind of
ticket.
president we should have.
Don't you think this gives a poor reflection of the internal structure of the PDP?
No. You see, first, I maintain, and please, the earlier you guys join politics, the better for all of us. It is not a crime to be a member of a political party, even when you are,
it is not.
Absolutely
even
not.
when you are a journalist. It's
Absolutely
not a crime.
not.
Nigeria comes first at all times. That I am a Christian, I shouldn't put my Christian belief system as the supreme above other Nigerians who have a right to not to be Christians. That I'm a member of PDP. The party's constitution cannot deny me my constitutional right to join anytime an association and exit anytime that I like. So you don't hold anybody against that. But the party itself has an ideology. The party has, because you can't say PDP has no ideology. There is only one political party
what is
in
the
Nigeria.
ideology?
After PDP, you can talk about the ruling party.
What is the
which
ideology?
is the APC.
Did you call it the ruling
But
party?
they have ruined everything. I was telling you how much we left. We left $50 billion US dollars economy, and they bungled it, and we're at 200 and something US dollars. The other day they rebased the economy, and they were jumping at that. And then we left dollar exchange at less than 200 naira. Imagine it, less than
Address the
200
ideology,
naira.
address the
And
ideology.
now it is 1,500 plus.
Yes.
And
So
Nigerians are asking, what is PDP's ideology?
Yes.
The PDP's ideology is in its motto: the people of Nigeria must come first at all times. And the constitution of the Nigerian people is supreme above this association. It's not that we have become another nation. No. people of Nigeria of common interest who can come together to build an egalitarian nation, because that is what we ought to have. This APC is so clueless that they have taken us back on the issue of national anthem, for instance. They can't even uphold this new one that they have also brought to us. A nation where no man or woman is oppressed. That line should guide any leader in Nigeria. But is that the case?
I think
people are being oppressed, people are being subdued, and all of that. And you say you're running a government? No. PDP's ideology would always put the Nigerian people first. We cannot, for instance, use the police or the army or the Air Force or any government, enforcement agency to go against the Nigerian people who are protesting against ills in the land.
Okay. All right,
under APC, we saw that people were protesting against hunger, and you grabbed them, locked them up. Some were killed, some were wounded. People will go through crisis in Nigeria. Flood will visit Nigerians, or terrorism will happen somewhere. The president, commander-in-chief, the chief monarch of the nation cannot go there and console the Nigerian people. And you say he's going to come back for 2027. To do what?
All right, Mazi, just hold on to your thought. Lots of conversation we're going to have here together here on the studio. But right now, we need to go out on a break. And when we'll come back, we're going to talk more about your party's leadership, the direction for the PDP as well, and the nation generally. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
This is Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN. We connect people, power stories, and amplify voices. On Rapid TV, we're rooted in culture and your window to the stories that matter. From news to lifestyle, we inform, entertain, and uplift. Join Rapid TV on StarTimes Channel 176, Nightcom Sat. On Rapid FM, we speak your language, from the soulful airwaves of Umuahia to the vibrant culture of Port Harcourt and beyond. More than broadcasters, we're creators, amplifying that voice within with powerful content across TV, radio, and digital. Join us at rbnradiotv.com and all our social media handles. One network, one voice. Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN, the sound of your city. Rooted in truth, driven by impact.
My name is Akio Sakido.
Hey guys, this is Anto Lecky.
My name is Theo Bliss.
My name is Akava, go by the name Baba D.
And you're tuned into Rapid TV. And I love Rapid TV.
Shout out Rapid TV. Thank you, Rapid TV. Please keep watching
Rapid TV. This is
Rapid TV. Rapid TV.
Keep watching.
Keep it right down.
Leave it like that.
Welcome back. Of course, you're still watching the Rapid Done right here on Rapid Television. We've been hanging out with a PDP chieftain, Mazi Nnamdi Dixon. Once again, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Now let's take you back a little bit, right? Talking about the removal of the fuel subsidy again. Now, in 2023, Peter Obi, as a presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Rabiu Kwankwaso, as a presidential candidate of the NNPP, and Atiku Abubakar, as the presidential candidate of the PDP, also the current president now, Tinubu, all said that they were going to remove fuel subsidy. Now that the APC administration, President Tinubu came into power, he removed the fuel subsidy, and everyone has gone agog in that particular situation. I asked again, if Peter Obi came into power and removed the subsidy, would it have been any different?
Yes, there would have been a lot of difference. You see, first, it wouldn't have been done at the Eagle Square, the day of swearing in. First.
Okay.
It would have been after you have taken over, you come in, you assess the table. You now look at how to rejig it. Already, Buhari had removed it before he left. It wasn't, for the month of June, subsidy was not captured in the budget that Buhari had already sent in.
Yeah.
So it was already there. It was for you to come in as president now, knowing that every statement you make will become a policy and it will change the system immediately.
Okay.
So that approach was wrong. It triggered panic.
Okay.
And money cannot stay in such environment.
Yeah.
There must be some level of coordination that we understand that this person who is in charge, knows what to do and can make the sacrifices, lead by example. Secondly, Peter Obi, if he was president, and that was my candidate for 2023, so I would rather discuss Peter Obi.
Okay.
If Peter Obi was president, while telling Nigerians, tighten your belt a bit, please endure a bit, he would have shown you that he is also doing the same. He won't be living as though all was well,
Okay.
living in affluence, buying private jets, yachts, buying Escalade and all of that. He won't be doing that.
Okay.
That is, as the leader, he will now make the Nigerian people buy into his vision. The case now is that Nigerians know that this government is a deceit because nothing has worked. The claim of, the money we will make from the removal of subsidy will stop us from borrowing, because this government, this president was vehemently against borrowing. So we thought that he was going to come with all of that. Today, he's borrowing more. And the subsidy is gone. And then hunger is in the land. And there's no plan. Peter Obi 3 would have set up like Jonathan did. Because, because Jonathan already had shown us that the removal of subsidy would better the lives or the economy of the country. And then the nation may have more resources that can now plow to projects and all of that. So the plan would have been adopt the subsidy structure, because governance is a continuum. You don't need to dismantle what the other person did. Some of it that were done, maybe not done very well, you leverage on the structure there and build. So there was a structure that this president could have adopted.
Yeah.
That subsidy structure could have been adopted because it was a good thing. Nigerians would have, some sense of, okay, government cares.
Yeah.
That the effect of the removal of subsidy, there were buses, there were subsidy in transportation costs. There would have been ways, to do that. But government didn't do anything like that. And up till now, no plan. And they are discussing 2027. So that is my clear and layman understanding of, yes, all of them would have removed it, but Peter Obi would have approached it, as I just said, because by his antecedents, he would have shown that I can lead by example. Money would not be those vehicles that the House of Rep members and senators bought. If he was going to buy a vehicle for them, for instance, he would have patronized made in Nigeria.
All right.
That way, he would have been empowering the Naira. But this one, they went and bought Prado Jeeps.
Since you seem to be a fan,
and weakened the economy, the Naira.
hold on, you
and
seem to
stuff
be
like
a
that.
fan of Peter Obi.
Not a fan.
And-
I am an apostle of the obedient movement.
Okay, you're an apostle.
I'm still
of
a member.
Okay, but
Even
you are,
as a PDP member. That's why I said we are
Okay.
wooing him back
So
to
let me
his
ask
family,
you. Let me
where he
ask
rightly
you.
belongs.
Peter Obi you're speaking about right now is a member of the Labour Party,
Yes.
but also has legs at the corridors of the ADC.
The coalition.
No,
Not the
he is
coalition.
in the coalition.
He's in the
He's
coalition.
not in the
He's
ADC.
in coalition.
Yes.
Yes, he has legs right there.
Yes, yes.
And the PDP also wants Peter Obi. Let's say, for instance, Peter Obi does not come back.
He's a
to-
beautiful bride, I guess.
Hold on, he's a beautiful bride. Let's say, for instance,
Who
Peter
no
Obi,
lie better thing.
he does not come to the PDP and does not remain in Labour Party and contests under the coalition. Where would your allegiance be?
No, you see, first off,
No, it's a simple question.
I will
Where
answer
would-
you. I will
Where
answer
would your
you.
allegiance be?
I have told my party, PDP, and everybody is aware that I want us to go back and fix Nigeria. So I'm not ready to remain in the lamentation end.
Okay.
I want to stop this misrule of the APC. So, and I have identified a good leader personally. I want to follow this leader. And the party is listening towards the yearnings of Nigerians, because I'm not alone in this.
So
the
he
Jerry
refused-
Ganas of this world and all, leaders of the party, they know that Peter Obi has what it takes to fix Nigeria. Now, and I know that that's not possible. If ADC were to give Peter Obi ticket now, immediately there will be a readjustment politically in the affairs of in the political arena in Nigeria. it will change immediately. But ADC is not going to do that. ADC is for Atiku. And Peter Obi is soon going to leave the coalition because it is clear that this is about the ambition of one man. And it's not, and they are riding on his waves, as a matter of fact. Any day Peter Obi leaves the coalition would die a natural death.
Why is he there in the first place?
No, because he
Let's
cannot do
even
it
say,
alone.
here's what I'm saying. Let's
No,
say,
you cannot do it
let's
alone.
say,
To
let's
be
say
president
that.
of Nigeria, you cannot. Buhari contested 3 times, 12 years. He ran, riding on his so-called 12 million popularity
You haven't
followership.
answered this question.
He didn't do it until he now went out there and joined something more like a coalition
Where
too,
would your
with Bola
allegiance-
Tinubu and the rest of them.
Where would your allegiance
I am an obedient apostle, and the only thing that will make Peter Obi not become the PDP candidate, in my view, because I'm not one of those members who discuss Peter Obi from afar. I have access to him. I sit with him.
Okay.
He is not averse to my coming around him,
Okay.
and that's the kind of leader he is, and he listens. I call him sometimes, he picks my call. If he sees my call, missed call, he calls me back. So I have access to him. So I'm not speaking from the report from the media.
Okay.
This is a leader that is committed, right? And this is a leader that, for instance, he has given a commitment to a one term, saying, listen, if I have 4 years, I won't do everything. If it is power, electricity, that will have steady power, that is right. That will industrialize the nation. If I have the chance to become president, the vast land, productive land in the northern Nigeria should be able to feed not just Nigeria alone, but the entire Africa. That I will empower the agricultural sector. These elements, by the time someone like him with such vision comes on board, Peter Obi, as I know him, will not sleep for up to 4 hours every day of those 4 years. Every hour will count. He has the energy, he has the commitment, he has the passion, he has the vision, he has the clear understanding of what he wants to do to better the lives of the Nigerian people. Because any government that is not about the people, you have failed. The purpose of setting up a government is to secure the people and provide welfare. Are you secured, Nigerians? Do you have the welfare, Nigerians? So I want to believe that Peter Obi will become the PDP candidate. That's my prayer, that's my belief. But the only possibility of him not becoming that would be like the story of President Goodluck Jonathan being considered also by some camps in the PDP. And he's allowed. Goodluck Jonathan, I worked for him in 2015, and I believed in him. I also worked for him in 2011, all right? So I believe in him. But you see, my advice to him would be, he should be a statesman. Because, for instance, I'm from the Southeast. We, the Southeasterners, staked everything for him to come to power in the first place in 2010, when the absence of the former President Yar'Adua was sick and all of that. We were in the forefront to engage the system and even eventually actualize the doctrine of necessity that was adopted. Then in 2011, we also campaigned, sacrificed for him, and made sure he came on board in 2011. 2015, we also took it up. He should go back to his brothers in the Southeast and say, let me present to you your son, Peter Obi. That's who I will support. If GEJ does that, then this country
Let's say,
would
but
have
we
a direction.
hear that GJ is planning also to contest under the PDP. But yes,
he has the right to contest. But I've just said, me from the Southeast, I want Peter Obi, and it will be better for him to come back to PDP, that's GEJ now, to come back to PDP and help lead the people to win with Peter Obi as the candidate. He knows Peter Obi that much also.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mazi, for all of your explanations here. But yes, if the PDP continues in this current path, because we cannot, the path of chaos.
No, we're not chaotic.
They are very chaotic.
We're having neck by 2 o'clock. You are invited.
Neck that, what's his name? the
FCT
FCT minister,
He's doing what?
he said a lot of things that he's
No,
not
what did he
aware.
say?
First of all,
He's
last
not aware
week,
of what?
hold on. Last week he was on a certain TV channel where
Yeah.
he was talking about the fact that he's not aware that any NEC meeting is holding. He's not aware about anything. They asked him about the convention which is supposed to take place in Ibadan. He also made mention of the fact that nobody told him he's hearing it for the first time. Right? Aside him, there are different fractions of the. You are laughing. There are different factions of the PDP, right? People for, people against, people back and forth, which you would say is the same in many other parties.
No, it's politics.
It's politics, right?
If
But-
you don't put, I'm an Igbo man, and I say this every time. We define politics as ndoro chichi.
Okay.
So everybody is pulling their own side, and
Well-
for him to say, "Hold on, this,"
But this is one party.
When,
But
when
this
I
is
watched
one
this,
This is one party, right?
But you see, the issue of Nyesom Wike, he's just one man, and I can tell you, because this party is not, as I defined APC earlier, not destructive or destructive. Nyesom Wike, we cannot take his flowers away from him, or we
What
cannot.
flowers exactly?
Come on, this is someone who, at the time the party lost power in 2015, he stood firm both in engaging the APC government and in funding the party, sponsoring activities of the party. Without resources, you can't run a political party. So he has a certain level of influence
Are
in the
his,
party.
are
Hold
his
on,
ways
hold on, please.
commendable ways? Are they
No,
ways
which
that
ways? His ways, he said, the party must come south. The party is going south now. So, and why the party lost? He hurt someone like him that the party could lose in 2023 when we had the best chance to come back to power. APC had no reason whatsoever to come back to power in 2023. It's just that we bungled it by not upholding our constitution. So that's the pain of Nyesom Wike. And the aspect of him saying, oh, that he's not aware of the convention in November in Ibadan. Well, that's his opinion. The party is going to have a convention in November, right? And it's going to take place in Ibadan. That is what the party has decided. Except the party, you know, like in NEC today, for instance, we decide NEC is the highest organ of the party. So if today, as we meet in at NEC, and we now decide that, no, okay, we're changing it from November to December, or to October, or from Ibadan to Lagos, or to back to Abuja, it would suffice. But not for the opinion of one person. At the moment, at NEC, we resolved as a party that we were going to have a convention in November, and our location is Ibadan. And it stands. It doesn't matter what individual members are saying. Yes, so Wike, like I would always say, he is just one person. He is doing well as FCT minister. I can see the infrastructure,
What
but
of
his
human capital
politics,
development?
his politics,
His growth
he's not
is
perfect.
it? His
He's not
growth
perfect
is
in every area, but infrastructure-wise, give it to him. You can't take that away.
Let's talk about.
Then in his politics, he needs to change his politics, especially that those who thought PDP was dead are now singing a new song, because PDP is not dead after all. So he himself should take a position now and either stay with his party and rebuild it and come back to power and run the affairs of the nation, not as Minister of State, but as a major stakeholder in the project of rebuilding a great nation that we ought to be. That's what he should consider.
All right.
And not just having a ministerial appointment.
Okay,
you know.
Mazi. Now, you've talked about the fact that one man's opinion should not override the party's
Yes.
stance.
Yeah.
But we've seen over and over again, right from 2023, which is most recent, that it seems like one man's opinion, which is the opinion of the FCT minister
No,
on
so.
PDP,
It's
has
not true.
always stood the test of time.
It's not true.
There was that.
Can you mention
there was that establishment.
one of the because I like
Sam
facts.
Anyanwu, for instance.
Yes.
Yes, Wike
Who is my leader, by the way,
maintains
if you must
that it must be Sam Anyanwu who is going to claim that seat.
No,
for the
that's not what
PDP.
he said. The constitution of the party, this is what we from this end are saying. The constitution of the party didn't say that any member of NWC that wants to vie for elective office anywhere should or must resign or shall resign. That's not what the constitution says. The constitution says the person may choose to resign. So it's optional. Now, in this case, Sam Anyanwu sought to become governor of Imo State, did not resign, and didn't win the governorship.
Okay.
Right? He has a right to come back to his seat as national secretary. And he's not the first. The current governor of Taraba State was chairman of PDP when he sought to become governor. He was still chairman until he won the governorship and got sworn in that seat was declared vacant. The current deputy publicity secretary of the party sought to become governor of Kebbi State, and he didn't get it. He came back, and he's still the deputy publicity secretary of the party. So the case of Sam Anyanwu should not be isolated for against the constitution, and that's what the likes of Nyesom Wike and myself agreed on. Because I also agreed with that, that I fought for that it wasn't possible to remove Senator Samuel Anyanwu, the way, because he was elected at the convention. To remove him, you must either come to NEC, which is the highest organ of the party.
And he's not willing to come to.
No,
and he's not. And you are not expelling him from the
No, we have had that. He's the one that we are also having today. He's the one that convened it. There's no way the chairman would sign a convocation of NEC without the signature of the national secretary. So he's part of it, and he will be there.
Definitely, we are going to look forward to the outcome of the NEC meeting today.
It will be great. PDP will march forward.
And we hope to have you back after the NEC meeting to give us further details of what happened in that particular meeting. But because of our time, this is where we're going to have to wrap up the conversation. Our guest here has been a PDP chieftain, Mazi Nnamdi Dixon. Once again, thank you for being here with us. We do appreciate you.
Yes, I still remain, not has been. I still remain a PDP chieftain.
All right.
Lover of PDP.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, right now, I'll sign off the conversation back to myself and Martha. The conversation is heated here. One of the papers as well still showed us that the NEC would take a stance or make a decision when it concerns the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, and other party members. Again, our fingers are crossed to find out exactly what is going to happen in the NEC meeting today. But let's get to closing, Martha.
Well, I mean, the crisis in the PDP is one that, although Mr. Mazi doesn't like it to be called crisis in the PDP, but we have seen a lot of shift from the PDP that the people used to know. If you say that you are that powerful, or if you have the right ideologies to run Nigeria, we should see some sort of united front between members of the PDP. That gives the people a certain level of confidence. Yes, if PDP says they have the audacity, if PDP say they have what it takes and the ideology to rule Nigeria, then we must see it being reflective in the attitude of the party, the leadership, and the mandate in the party. But if we don't see that, I mean, it beats my imagination to think if PDP would be strong enough to produce a candidate for the 2027 presidential election. But let's not conclude until we see the outcome of the next meeting, who gets kicked out and who gets, upheld.
Definitely. Of course, this is where we draw the curtain on today's edition of the Rapid Done. And of course, before we go, do remember that you can follow us up on all our social media pages across all platforms at Rapid Television. And you can as well rewatch all of our episodes on our YouTube channel at Official Rapid TV. And yes, wherever you go, I mean, if you're in your office and you don't need to, put on your TV, you can always log on to our website at www.rbnradiotv.com, and we're going to be live on your screen. Please, if you're driving, keep your phone aside. Make sure you're in a safe place before you log on and watch the show. My name is Victor Ake.
And my name is Martha Alu. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.